Hello, welcome to the DraftCast. On this episode, we are joined by Max, one of our new managers this season, who has got off to a great start, leading the pack for a few weeks and now sits in fourth. How are you, Max?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Luke. Christmas is over. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, just pretty chilled out. Just saw sort of my family and Danny's family over sort of Christmas and Boxing Day. So no, it's good.
Good stuff.
What about you?
Yeah, same really. Just chilled out most of it. Yeah.
New house, chilled out in the new pad.
Yeah. I'm very much loving it and hating it at the same time, I guess. It's a weird one.
You got sick to death of flat pack furniture yet, or is that stage not hit yet?
Well, it's not been too bad because I've not bought any new stuff. It's just been taking down what I already had and putting it back up. So that was a bit of a pain.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, our first DraftCast recording in the new office. Yeah.
I'm a bit honoured.
So yeah, and it's your first time on your own episode. So looking forward to seeing what you've brought along with you. But I thought we could do a review of the league table as it stands and a bit of a review of your team. Then I'd try and get your thoughts on the draft so far. Now we've done half a season. Yeah, and then I think you've brought a little segment, so we'll leave that to the end.
We'll finish on that.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Right, league table. We're still in the middle of game week 21, but when I originally did all the planning for when people were going to be on each episode, that wasn't going to be the case because they've increased game week 21 to a double game week. So, but never mind. We'll just carry on as we are. It's been a bit of a mixed bag this week. You've done all right with 33. George has done well with 40. Got a few people in the 30s, and I think it just shows you that the amount of injuries that are happening at the moment. Teams not playing. It's really impacting a lot of teams at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it is just difficult to follow at the minute. From my point of view, there's so many, like you say, teams not playing and what have you, that, there are so many managers that could have a large number of games in hand over others. So, yeah, it's quite difficult to get a true reflection of who actually stands where at the minute.
Yeah, that is true. So where you're fourth? Yeah, I think I've spoken about this. I mean, me and Tom spoke about the gap that him, Adam, and Will have sort of created. But you're still sitting in your own. You're still good 20 points ahead of Jim at the moment.
Yeah. After such a good start, I won't lie. That gap opening up is a little bit sickening. But I'm sure with a few good game weeks, and if Dennis can carry on absolutely carrying my team for the next 4 or 5 weeks, then I might close it. But I'm not so worried about closing that gap as much as making sure the gap doesn't close behind me and Jim and Jack end up overtaking me. Yeah,
it would be. Yeah, I think we're all rooting for you to do well this season. Now you've started off well, but maybe that's jinxing you a little bit. But yeah, there's still a few game weeks to go, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, it's that kind of who's got games in hand at the minute with certain players playing double game weeks. Yeah. That's thrown the timetable completely. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when that levels out over the next 4 or 5 game weeks.
Yeah, it will be. You're right. Just trying to think of anything else. I don't want to talk about my not doing very well at the moment. Jack's. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at Jack. Let's see where Jack's at.
We've got Rich and Jack that can make you feel good about yourself. So just take that.
Oh yeah, Jack's team is looking a bit sorry for itself this week. He's got 7 to come off the bench by the looks of it, so that will help him. But doubling his points.
Exactly. So
and he's got the Leicester. He's got 3 players in the Leicester game to play. So yeah, that's not looking good for Jack.
It's like you say, it's not over though, is it? Very much. He's still got a lot of the game week in hand, hasn't he? So
yeah, and like you say, he'll probably have players that come back later in the season. So it's all to play for.
It is, mate. It is. Yeah, you can have a look at my team.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's have a look at your team. I've got a couple of questions for you to you about team. So you've mentioned Dennis already.
Yeah.
And I was going to say he's been a great pickup for you, but want to know what went through your mind to take that risk and pick him up?
What went through my mind? To be completely honest with you, it was a couple of pints in at the Bell with Lawrence. Not done a waiver before, so bit of Dutch courage and thought, let's do it. I can't even remember. I think it was Marshall I got rid of in place of him, and I was just pissed off with him not playing. So I thought, let's just take anyone. And it couldn't have gone any better. Dennis could have been a sort of renowned class striker, or he could have been an absolute dog. I didn't know, so I just took him, and it's worked out all right. So just hope that carries on.
Yeah, it's always good. Like that happened to me last season as well. I picked up Gundogan, and he just went on a rampage. It's always nice when you do get that sort of. It's not. I mean, it is luck, and sometimes if you do a little bit of looking at the stats, you think, okay, yeah, you made the right decision. But no, we're all impressed with that pickup.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're looking at the forwards, sort of in terms of waivers, then everyone is pretty open about the fact there's very little to choose from this year with 12 managers in the league. So yeah, it's kind of trying to pick the best of a bad bunch, and luckily it paid off.
Yeah, that is true. So my next question is, what are you looking to improve in your team currently, if anything?
Well, I think at the minute I'm fairly settled. The only thing on my mind is the Chelsea defence. So obviously keeper Mendy, and the two Chelsea defenders. Yeah, they started the season really well, and probably the reason I was top, if I'm honest. The consistency from them, the clean sheets, but yeah, that's not gone so well over the last 5-6 weeks. So if I was looking at making any change, it would probably be to them. But after recent trading, I'm pretty keen to stick for a minute, at least another 2 game weeks.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't have much else to question about your team. Is there any honourable mentions you want to make other than Dennis?
No, I think Rafinha is honestly obviously helped me get off to a fast start this sort of in the season, but if other managers could refrain from making transfer offers for him, because they will all get declined. Solly. I get like at least 3 a week for Rafinha. But yeah, I think, Semedo obviously had a good game against Man United with a clean sheet in there as well yesterday, so that did help.
I see you've held on to Pogba, you drafted him, and you've still held on to him. Is that you adamant you're going to hold on to him, or are you going to get rid of him at some point?
No, I've looked at him several times to go to agency, but I did actually put in a waiver a few weeks ago, and I didn't get it. Someone else got the player I went for, so I think George got the player instead. So I've kept on to him for now, but it's not through sort of any particular choice. It's just there's no one better at the time, so I just thought, let's see what happens with the injury. Let's see. And now I've waited this long for him, I may as well just wait to see if he comes back to form, because he did do well at the start of the season.
Fair enough.
Yeah, January he's supposed to return this month, so we shall see what happens.
Yeah, that would be an interesting return, I think. They might need him. But yeah, okay. Yeah, you're doing all right. I mean, you got to be happy with where you are in the league, I guess, at the moment. And yeah.
Well, the problem with sort of so many game weeks first at the start is it sort of creates an expectation. Before we started, I'd been well happy with 4th. But yeah, now I'm disappointed with
it. Yeah, I suppose that is the issue when you do get up high for a bit and then you drop down. I mean, yeah. You're doing well, though. You're doing well.
Can't complain.
No. So I thought what I would move on to now is just a few questions based on your, just about the draft in general now and your experience so far. So I'm going to start with something you've already touched on, which is the manager-to-manager trading scene and how you found that so far.
Yeah, so I've tried to stay out of it, if I'm honest, and that's been picked up on not just manager to manager, but from the agency as well. So tried to stay away from it. That was always my tactic from the get-go. I did an early trade with Adam just to get one on the board because I thought it would be a good thing. And the league was looking for it at the time, and I wasn't particularly sort of attached to Bamford. So we did that. I then didn't do anything for a long time. And then, the recent trading, it's been interesting to say the least. Yet to see if it pays off or not. Without any sort of preconceptions of particular players or teams, I'm purely looking at stats and a little bit of Google, but purely looking at stats on how they've played so far. So, not even how they played, but points earned. So you look at players for smaller teams like Dennis that are actually scoring really well, in terms of points and minutes played. It's interesting, but I think after the reaction from my last evening's trading, when I traded with Adam and Tom, then I think I'm just going to stick for a minute, just go back to the early tactic of sticking with the team as they are and see if it pays off, and if it doesn't, make a few changes later on.
All right, fair enough. So you touched on a few stats there. Is that the kind of thing, is that just sort of what you look at when you're assessing players to bring in from agency, or those that do get offered to you in trades?
Yeah, just purely looking at the numbers. Like I say, no preconceptions at all. Not being a big football follower before, so literally just looking at whether the numbers make sense or not.
Yeah,
and whether they're likely to keep on. Sort of bringing in those stats. So it's interesting. We'll see if those trades pay off, but judging by the reaction from the last time, no one's got any confidence they will for me.
That happens a lot. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned about not being a football follower. Have you actually watched any games this season?
No, not all 90 minutes. No. But I don't need to, because Adam's commentary just, keeps me updated while I'm out and about. So that's all I need. I just need to see those points rolling in for Dennis.
It is handy to have that live commentary.
Yes. Don't know where I'd be without it, to be honest. Yeah. It isn't a weekend without it.
You wait till the summer, it's just everyone's just moaning about there not being any football. Anyway.
Yeah.
What were you looking forward to before the season started? Any aspect of the draft you thought, that looks like it could be good fun?
I was dreading it, if I'm honest. Not having any real football knowledge, I thought, right, I'm going to get slaughtered. The bit I was looking forward to is the bit of the sort of gambler in me thought, well, as equal chance as any with the same pool of players.
Yeah.
So a little bit of me was thinking might actually do all right, and that would be hilarious. And then look what happened in the first 10 game weeks.
Yeah.
That was the bit I was secretly kind of looking forward to, that might happen, and then it bloody did. So, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not funny. It's just it's really cool, really good to see. Just because it just shows, like you say, the draft aspect of it can levels the playing field a bit to start with. As long as you have a good idea of what players to go in for at the start, then you've got just as much chance of getting them as anybody else, especially within the random order that it provides. So, yeah,
and just as much as that goes for being top of the league, I guess it does for bottom as well, just to give Rich a bit of defence.
It's true. Yeah. So, has anything about the draft taken you by surprise?
No, I think the amount of chat in the WhatsApp group, I can't say that took me by surprise this year because I joined the chat last year, but it's pretty mad.
Yeah, it can be, definitely.
Yeah,
especially on a Friday afternoon when they do the trivia.
Yeah,
you just come return to 500 messages.
I'm still hell bent that one day tea time trivia, I'm just going to come in with the top answer and surprise everyone. It'll happen one day.
We wait to see it now, Max. Now you've told us your plan.
I know. You might have to wait. It might be 5 seasons, Luke. You never know, but it'll happen one day.
Yeah. And finally, is it living up to the hype?
Yeah, it definitely is. AGM, I can say last year now, it was 2021. was awesome. And yeah, like I say, I genuinely don't know where I'd be without the constant game commentary, looking out for, goals and assists for points. So yeah, I am a little bit addicted now, if I'm honest.
Really? That's what we all love to hear. Yeah, it's I don't know. I can't. You see, I sort of don't really remember not doing it now as well after three seasons. So it's partway through the third season. So yeah, it does become a big part of your life, and now especially doing a podcast as well. It is a good. I don't know what you would call it. I wouldn't call it a hobby. It's like I don't know.
A way of life, Luke.
Yeah.
It's drafted life. But
that is it. You're right. Yeah.
The pod is full commitment. I think we all appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, I guess, and help me learn some new skills, I guess, with editing and things. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I think in terms of commitment as well. I think kudos to Jack as well for coming out with the syndicate, the both teams to score.
Yeah, you're doing well in that. To be fair, God, not even touched on that at all.
I know. Well, if games weren't cancelled this week, I like to think I'd nailed it this week as well, but I didn't. But yeah, there are some good performances and some shocking ones as well. But no, I think this time next year we'll be millionaires, definitely.
I can't decide whether to participate in that or not. I'm not really much for gambling, so yeah, I have to see how you guys get on after a few weeks, and then
you got to roll the dice, Luke, haven't you?
Yeah, so, that's true.
It might turn into a gambling habit, which you may regret, but it's worth doing.
Yeah. I think I'll have to get next time Jack's on. I think I'll get him to run through how the syndicate works for everyone that doesn't know what we're talking about. So yeah, it's a good pod topic there. Talking of topics, I believe you've brought a little segment along. Should we crack on?
So yeah, just a very quick segment from me to finish on and just leave you all with something to think about. So this is obviously not from my football knowledge because I don't have a lot. This is from my experience of the league so far. So I've unashamedly stolen Tom's slide because it was a very good segment and a good deck. So I just want to raise a quick concern with you all. So obviously you can see my position for the start of the league, and you can see week 12 to 13 it went considerably downhill. The wheel properly came off, and I was overtaken. So just for those that aren't aware, there was a significant event on the Friday of that game week ahead of it all starting, which was my wedding. So now a happily married man, but I think we can all see the result. So there are some managers in the league that have already got that contractual commitment coming up. So now might be time to renegotiate and reconsider.
Ooh.
For the sake of the league.
Yeah.
For the sake of the draft performance.
Yeah, we've got statistical evidence of what happens on your wedding week.
Exactly. Now. So I think Tom suffered from it as well. I don't think I'm alone. Obviously, he didn't manage to bring home any silverware last year during his sort of wedding year. And, I think he saved himself with, bringing Toby on board. I think he's, offered some sound advice and he's rescued him for this year. So we'll see. But I think there's definitely a correlation there. So I was actually a bit concerned about this on the wedding day and whether it would have an effect, still being top a little bit. There's a long way to fall from there. So I asked Will what he thought, and he didn't say anything, but he just held this up, which I think says it all.
Yeah. Nice. Great photo.
So yeah, sound advice from the draft council.
Yeah. I like it.
So yeah, that is my warning to you all. Think carefully. Just say no, kids.
Yeah. Ooh, get a bit distracted. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Maybe.
No, I like it. Yeah. It's interesting. It is interesting just to take that sort of something external to the draft and overlay the two and just...
Yeah. I've genuinely been trying to rack my brains for sort of hours on something to do that is non-football related, but this is probably about as non-football related as makes sense at the minute.
That's all right, Max. We may be a football podcast, but we love anything that's non-football as well. So
yeah,
all welcome.
Cool. Well, like I say, addicted to fantasy football now. So, yeah, it all changes from here.
Who'd have thought, eh?
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. That is a fair warning to the rest of us that are yet to get married. Yeah. Anything else you want to? Any other business, as they say?
Any other business? No, I think that's all. So yeah, no, just keep going, everyone, and it'll be interesting the next few game weeks with the COVID disruption. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I guess it's start of new year. We've still got a good few. Well, we've got till game week 38. It's the last game week, and we've got some new double game weeks coming up. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Will famously, as you've probably seen in the chat, he calls them a myth. He doesn't think they're of value. So we'll see how that works out for him and everybody else.
Yeah, I think definitely there's a lot of position changes going to be happening over the next few weeks. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There always is. Yeah. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on, Max. Thanks for answering my questions and bringing that little segment. It's good to just have a bit of a laugh about things. But yeah, no, it's good.
Well, I'm not laughing, Luke. I'm serious. Don't get mad.
That is fair. I'm the one laughing here, not you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool. But looking forward to going to all the other managers' weddings this year and what have you. So there's plenty being planned.
Yeah, there's a few, isn't it? There's
and we'll find Jack a girl at one of them.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's.
I shouldn't say we'll find. I was going to say we'll find Jack a girl. Full stop.
I think he's got it under control.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. We'll wrap it up there. If you've been listening, thanks for listening. Please do leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, to listen to us ramble every time and pick out topics about, just fantasy draft in general and how our league goes. But yeah, thanks again, Max, for coming on. We'll speak to you again next time, which will be, you might be one of the last people on before the end of the season. So you're gonna have to come back with a bigger segment, Max. There will be expectation.
Wow. I think there'll be plenty to talk about in the final few game weeks. So
that is true.
Don't worry about that, Luke. Yeah.
That is true. There's always plenty to talk about. A cup will have happened by then. The not El Presidente, the DBF Pokal Cup will be coming up soon. So that we'll know who's won that by next time you're back.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for having me, Luke.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. And as always, this is the DraftCast. And remember, draft is life. See you next time.